Good. Good. Try that again. Okay. There we go. So we'll call this meeting to order. It is 6:12 PM. First things first, approval of the agenda. Motion is that the agenda for the regular council meeting on November 3rd, 2025 be approved as presented. Can I get a mover and seconder? Councillor Campbell, Deputy Mayor Kirkby, all in favor? Carrie, thank you. Next up is declaration of interest. Is there any declaration of interest tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on. We don't have any presentations nor delegations tonight. So now we'll go through the minutes of the previous council meeting. The motion is that the council minutes dated October 20th, 2025 be accepted as presented. Can I get a mover and seconder? Councillor Burton, Councillor Ray Young, all in favor? Carrie, thank you. No communications or petitions. We've done that. Consent reports, the council information package. The motion is that all items listed under consent reports section of the agenda be accepted as presented. Is there anything in the council information package council would like to take out? Seeing none, I'll call the question. Sorry, put the motion, mover and seconder. I got you. Councillor Young and Councillor Young, Tracy, then Ray. No relation. All in favor? Carrie, thank you. No committee reports and the mayor report. We had a great weekend down at the pop-ups. We had Halloween Town, then we also had the pumpkin parade. Kudos goes out to all the staff, Dana and Justin especially, as well as everyone else. Samantha and her crew did a great job. I didn't get a total number of how many pumpkins there were.
There were 532, I believe. Don't quote me on that number.
532, and then there was, I think I just reviewed 71 pictures in the Halloween costume contest. So the kids seem to have a lot of fun with that and a great time held by all. So lots of great costumes out there. The weather could have been better, but it wasn't as bad as projected. So all in all, pretty good. So we'll move around the table. We'll start here with Councillor Kirkby.
Thank you. Through you, Mayor Shankar. I didn't really have too many meetings during our last council, but I did attend the town of Prescott Edwardsburg friendly hockey game. I actually attended as the referee. There was no complaints, but I do have an eye test next week. It was good. It was good to see the two communities. This was their second game. The first one was against Augusta, and it's good to see some team building put into our employees, so staff. Just want to mention that I'm sure everybody's well aware, but we had a water main break last Monday. The break happened about 150 meters west of where we had the break in January 2025. Now, the weird one is the pipes are less than 30 years old. Back then, the pipes were made a little thinner. Each time something new is created doesn't always mean it's the newest and best after 30 years. It turned out that area's got a lot of bedrock based on the vibration of the pipe there. Looks like some of the gravel bed washed away, which contributed to the break. So good to note that town staff was on the spot and the water turned off within 40 minutes. So that's a great response time by our staff who's at home. And they're working everything's completed, but they're working on the sidewalk and stuff coming up. A couple other things is just a shout out to the operations crew that was in to pick up all the pumpkins and stuff like that during the pumpkin parade and prior. The skateboard park has had daily usage except for when it rains, even at night, which has been great. And the water staff is continuing to perform water main flushes. They've cleaned all the catch basins and the dead end sewer lines. And the parking lot has been completed down at Shoppers. And then just to note Bob Dixon's retirement on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Campbell.
you, Mayor Shankar. I will be attending the fire admin meeting tomorrow night. It's always one day off, but I will report on that at our next meeting. And I attended the Spirit of Giving at the grocery store on, what was that?
Sunday.
Saturday. And that was a lot of fun, and they called me off to be on the radio. I'm like, but I guess I said stuff. It was really fun, and people were buying those bags like crazy. We've got a very good community in terms of contributing to others.
They said it was the best day for the kickoff.
Oh,
Oh, that's good.
They said it was the best day of a kickoff that day. There was over 400 bags sold by the time Mary, myself, Lee, and Ray got done.
How's that over
Yes, I did.
there? Okay.
so it continues on, the month of November. There'll be different events, and yeah, keep it up, Prescott.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. Councillor Burton.
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. Lots going on at the library. We have Dungeons and Dragons starting up again tomorrow night. There's new artwork in the library. They are collecting items for the Spirit of Giving. And there's a silent book club that starts November 20th, and the paint party November 25th, and a few other items that I can probably save for our next meeting. I have a Shakespeare meeting tomorrow night as well, and kudos to our staff and all the volunteers for the pumpkin parade and the Halloween town. It was well attended, and kids love to see their little pumpkins and find their friends' pumpkins and stuff. So anyways, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Burton.
If I may just ask a question,
Sure.
Councillor Burton. Did you say you had a library meeting?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, okay.
Oh, sorry, no, I'm just giving highlights
Oh, sorry.
for, yeah, it was Shakespeare I have tomorrow night.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I have some of that as well. There will be emergency management meeting on Friday this week.
Thank you. Councillor McConnell?
Oh, took me by surprise. I like going around the end of the day. Well, I did what I suspect to be the last maintenance out of the cemetery for this year. Got some more trees, and the town staff was very good to pick them up when they were around with their chipper that week, and I appreciate that. As Mary and Justin said, I was at the grocery store on Saturday, and I won't belabor that, but I just like to point out that there were several people that bought more than one bag, and sometimes 3 bags, which is just goes to show that there is a keen awareness of the need that we have this year. I also attended the pumpkin parade on Saturday night, and it was very spooky, very enjoyable. And there are 2 pumpkins floating in the marina this morning. So you said there was 502. I don't know where the 500 went, but I can tell you where there's 2. Anyway,
Just like it.
thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Rayon.
Thank you. I did attend on Saturday afternoon with the other 3 councillors who braved the very cold weather. It's really not that cold when you're from Northern Ontario, but it's the cold at the beginning of the year that makes it seem far worse. And I didn't dress properly for it, but it wasn't amazing to see the participation from the people. For those members of council who have never been involved in the Spirit of Giving before, if you truly want to see something interesting that just moves like clockwork, you can come down to the Leoboyven when we sort the food. So all those bags have to be opened. All the canned vegetables have to be placed on one table. All the spaghetti and noodles have to be placed on another table. And it takes many, many volunteers, several hours, like the whole day, to to sort out all the food that comes in. After it's sorted, then other people fulfill or fill the commitments that we have, the 300 families that look forward to it. So if you want to do something, probably get the wrong date, but it seems to me it's like the 18th or somewhere around there.
December.
So that would be interesting. My trip down to the pumpkin committee, I am amazed at the artistic ability of some of the people that carve pumpkins. It's just incredible. I did mention to Samantha, there is a place in northern New York State that has a catapult and they launch pumpkins into the St. Lawrence. And that might be something to see for 10 or 20 pumpkins, not them all. Just a few. Just a few.
532 pumpkins.
It would raise the water level.
Others might think we're hitting them or something.
I don't think we could build one that gets that far, but maybe 100 yards or 75 yards offshore. Anyway, the last thing I'll report is the monthly meeting of St. Lawrence Lodge, which I attended last week. And by the first meeting of next month, I will be able to present the 2024 audited financial statement plus the 2026 budget. So they're not official yet. They have been discussed in camera, but they're not public information yet. I will say Prescott should.
That's always good to hear from the St. Lawrence Lodge.
That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Councillor Ray Young. And last but not least, Councillor Tracy.
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. Small Business Week was a success. We had a good turnout for the Small Business Forum. I attended Bridges to Better Business. It was in Athens and it was hosted by the Leeds Bravo Small Business Association. Prescott's Allen and Associates accepted the Inclusive Employer Award. And they also had the graduates of the Starter Company Plus and Eden's Refuge. J.B. Van Allen was one of the graduates, so he was there as well. We had the downtown connections at the fire hall. And I was lucky, I got to participate in Halloween Town with a sensory shed. And it was so great to see all the kids, they were so happy. And finally, there's a heritage meeting on November the 5th. And that's all for me.
Thank you. All right. Okay, we're going to move into, only one staff report today. It's our financial report from September 2025, and it's for information only. So Matthew Armstrong, the floor is yours.
Very much. Yeah. So just a couple things to point out. One is that due to strain on cash flow, we're not expected to meet $100,000 budget for interest. That being said, it is mostly offset by the fact that outstanding property taxes balances are higher than previous years. And so at this point in the year, they're $28,000 higher. Protective Services did see a turnaround in terms of the revenue that they generate with a $42,000 more than budget for the month. And the majority of the transportation revenues derive from OSIP funding, which received throughout the year. A couple of things that we will be doing over the next, probably this month, is cemetery revenue. We make a $20,000 transfer to the cemetery, which will occur in November. And then social services revenue is in relation to debentures as well as the levy that we have for St. Lawrence Lodge. Both of those are expected to be balanced by the end of the year. From an expense standpoint, we're not too concerned about anything. Planning and development, as we mentioned last month, is higher due to the full year payment of the economic development corridor earlier this year and the heavy expense for events in the likely to occur in the summer months. So that's the report as I have it. More than happy to answer any questions there might be.
Thank you, Matthew. We'll check the room. So we'll start over here with Deputy Mayor Justin Kirkby.
Through your, Mayor Shankar. Matthew, is there a date when we expect the provinces to make payments on the ACCDC and the tower, the water tower?
No, both have been, we're still waiting. We will inquire again this week. And then hopefully get an answer fairly short.
Thank you.
Councillor Campbell?
Through you, Mayor Schenker. Matthew, is there a process for outstanding taxes, collecting outstanding taxes, or does it just keep going and going and going?
No, so we do have a process that includes monthly statements that have type of information. Once a year, we go through and evaluate how outstanding they are and in terms of longevity and the amount that's been accumulating and whether payments are being made. Letters are sent to each of those individuals, and with the next step being going to tax sale. Those tax sale, proceeding to tax sale is occurring in November, and we have approximately 30 properties that are moving forward to start that process. It is a long process because there's a number of reporting dates that we have to go through, that sort of thing. But certainly we every single month and throughout the year we evaluate and move that through the processes that allow us from the municipal act to recoup those taxes.
So is there a set time, you have to pay within 10 years, or is it based on individual people being able to put down money now and again?
So the municipal act says if you have 2 years outstanding, once you hit the 2-year mark, that you can start the tax sale process. We generally try to work as soon as somebody hits the 2-year mark to get them on a payment plan and that sort of thing. And then by the 3rd year of being outstanding, that's when we move to the tax sale.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Burton?
Thank you, Mayor Shankar.
Asked and answered. Anyone on this side? Seeing none, thank you, sir. All right, no resolutions tonight, so we do have a couple of bylaws. The first bylaw is 14.1 bylaw 44-2025, alternative voting methods. Motion is that bylaw 44-2025 being a bylaw to authorize the use of telephone and internet voting as an alternative voting method for municipal elections for the corporation of the town of Prescott be read and passed by the mayor and clerk and sealed by the seal of the corporation. Can I have a mover and seconder for that? Councillor Burton and Councillor Ray Young. All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. 14.2, bylaw 45-2025, heritage designation, 305 Center Street. Motion that bylaw 45-2025, being a bylaw to designate the property known municipally as the Surgery, 305 Center Street, as being of cultural heritage value, be read and passed, signed by the mayor and clerk, and sealed by the seal of the corporation. Moved by Deputy Mayor Kirkby, seconded by Councillor Burton. All in favor? Carried, thank you. All right, we're going to move on to new business. The first things first is the Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund resolution. I think Ms. Young, you brought that forward.
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. Looking for support from council to approve this resolution. The Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund is used for core infrastructure projects such as annual paving projects. Prescott's funding has been decreased by $47,084 in 2026. Therefore, that would impact our repaving. For example, we may have to decrease that by the same amount. The current funding envelope expires in 2027. So without this funding, it'll make it difficult to address repair and replacement for things such as roads, sidewalks, water, and sewer. For example, this fund had previously helped us with the overpass repairs. So our support may persuade the government to continue the fund and or enhance the fund as well.
Thank you. So would you like to move that motion to support them? Thank you. Is there, maybe Miss Chloe's working on that right now.
Excuse me, but that's not what I have in front of me here. I go right from the heritage attributes to
Just,
surplus land.
yeah.
I note that it was missed as an attachment in the agenda. It noted on the agenda, but it is not attached within the package. I'll do my best to retrieve it now and circulate it to council. I apologize.
So the motion would be just to move forward with supporting the resolution that Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal did for this, what she was talking about.
That would be from the information items of last meeting.
The last meeting, correct. That was when it was pulled out.
Circulating now. Apologies.
Got it.
Like watching a kettle boil, eh? All right, so the motion is that council support the Edwardsburg Cardinal resolution regarding Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund, and that council direct staff to circulate their support to all recipients of the original resolution and the Township of Edwardsburg Cardinal. Moved by Ms. Tracy Young, seconded by Councillor Burton. All in favor? Carried, thank you. All right. Next up is staff report 75-2025, surplus land declaration, Prince Street Field. We don't have a motion for this? Or did you want to present a motion, or do you want to listen to the staff first?
I'm going to present a motion to defer the decision pending the review of the public feedback.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Seconder. All right, any discussion?
We're gonna have a discussion. Yeah.
We have a mover and seconder. We have a motion pretty much on the table.
I'll discuss it.
Sure.
If the floor is mine.
Yep.
So, what I'll speak to is, yes, we had a great, crowd here tonight, right? I think there's a lot of misconception at times in the community. Some of this Prince Street was tied to boundary, which we all know was designated previously by the previous council, right? So what was in front of us tonight, right, was Prince Street Ball Diamond. We heard other properties get named, like the Lawn Bowling Club, which anybody around the table knows that that's been an ongoing issue due to the legality of not knowing who the owner was. Right, that was never dealt with previously. The one thing I'll say is the one lady made a good point about mixed use, right? I think what people misunderstand here is that a declaration of surplus means we're going to sell it right away. Versus a declaration of surplus allows us to see what the options are, right? We don't know who wants to come build there or potentially what they want to bring to that area, right? So by declaring an underused area, which we heard tonight, cases that it may not be, but I mean, I've been here for 47 years. I don't see a ton of people there. I used to. I do run the Prescott District Soccer Association. Over 400 kids. We play at the high school and potentially plan on moving to the new fields. Heard some good stuff tonight, but I think, you know what, we have to push forward through these tough times to see what the options are. That's all that's happening here. It's not a fire sale, right? You don't know what the possibilities are until you designated surplus and see what comes in. That still allows us to turn it back, leave it as is, or to move forward, right? I hear several cases of we don't need housing. There's lots of people that need housing. There's lots of people in the area that need housing. They need affordable housing, right? They may need retirement housing, right? Nobody knows what type of housing will go there. But the housing that goes there will be filled. We have seen that time and time again. Any build that has taken place in the last 3 to 4 years has been occupied prior to hitting the market, right? So there is definitely a need. There's still people driving back and forth from Ottawa that work at Giant Tiger. There's still people driving back and forth from Lansdowne and other places that work in Prescott and surrounding area that potentially would make Prescott their home. When I grew up here, it was 5,200 people. I think we're at 3,900 people now, right? It'd be nice to see that population come back and help maintain our downtown and possibility expansion on new businesses. So I'm fine with deferring it, but at the same time, I'm ready to get it. See what's out there, see the possibilities. We can't see the possibilities when we take that step forward and declare it a surplus. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Burton.
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. I echo Councillor Kirkby's conversation. Lots of good feedback from the public tonight. Balance the property. That's really stuck with me. But you're right, like we don't know who wants to come in and build something. They might build something smaller, they might build something bigger and have all sorts of green space still left. We don't know that until we put that out there. And I was talking to one of the people that were here and said those lights were put in 1969. Bill Lawrence was the linesman. So I thought that was kind of interesting conversation. To be a 40, that's amazing as well. But yeah, learned a lot tonight from the public feedback, but let's see what's out there and let's go from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Burton. Councilor Campbell.
Through you, Mayor Shankar. I heard a lot of good information out there. I was interested to hear about how low the property is and potential for flooded basements and what kind of land what was there before. It was green space, so that's an issue for me. And I'm trying to link this to the future of the Leo as well, because if we decide to replace the Leo, I understand we can't replace it in its current location. And that might be, Prince Street might be an area to put up a dome or another kind of indoor facility. So I'm thinking in my mind, that's gonna be my decision, linking in with the Leo. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. On this side, Councillor Young?
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. I agree with everyone else. The feedback was really good. And a couple of things that stuck in my mind were the balance and the accessibility. How our kids get to the ACCC when it's dark. But what I'm thinking is that would be something that we could think about in our 2026 budget. Some considerations on what we could do around that issue. And again, possibilities, it's always good to see what's out there.
Mhm.
That's all for me.
Thank you, Councillor Young. Councillor Ray?
My purpose for deferring the decision is there's absolutely no rush to do this. We can still move forward declaring it surplus down the road. That will lead to hopefully more than one firm coming forward with a proposal. By deferring this to the next meeting or 2 meetings from now, we're not jeopardizing a start of construction next year or anything like that. So I think we should have an opportunity to review the thoughts that were expressed here tonight. I no doubt we will get more from the public, and the more information, the better before we make the decision. That's all.
Thank you, Councillor Young. Councillor McConnell?
Thank you, Mayor Shankar. I tend to agree with Ray's viewpoint. I don't think there's any point in rushing this because in the past terms that I've been here, we have been approached, well, you were here for most of it, by any number of people, industrial wise, commercial wise, residential wise, inquiring about doing things here or actually making proposals. Very few of those ever came to fruition. I was surprised, to be honest with you, and not by the number of people that were here tonight, but by the number of people who indicated the usage of the field. To my mind, it's not in an area town that I frequent a lot. So it's a soccer field, it's a ball field, it's not used for ball, it's not used for soccer. It's not used, well, apparently it is used. It's, we had the cricket people here. I think it was it last year or the year before, looking for us to spend some money on it to make it into more of a cricket. Well, I didn't realize they were still using it. Having lived in the same neighborhood as this disaster going on behind us right now, I know that the neighbors value a local green space, and I hate to see them lose it. One important thing I think that I wasn't aware of, and I'm most positive our staff is not aware of the possibility that that field was a local dump at one time. And before we even consider making it a surplus piece of property, we should know what is there. It should be tested so that if we find that it is an incredible amount of garbage there that's going to cost us a fortune, then we don't have to bother going away with this because nobody's going to buy it for development. So I think we should defer this until we determine exactly what is under that sod. And if that is 2 weeks, if that is next spring, I believe that is lots of time for us to go ahead with this. To do it now, not knowing what is underneath there would be, wouldn't be good for anybody that could possibly be interested in it. They wouldn't want to spend any money on any plans or anything until they know what's there. So I think it's prudent of us to find that out first. If you were going to build a house on a piece of property, I think you would like to know what's under the ground before you purchased it or spend it on plans to purchase it. So that's, I agree with number 3 that we have deferred decision pending review of public feedback, which I think is what you suggested, and I seconded. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councillor McConnell. That was news to me that there was a potential dump there at one point. I didn't know that, so, but I do appreciate all the people that came in from the neighborhood that use that park to walk their dogs and watch people play cricket. So I know this council didn't approve any grant money to the cricket players last year, but anyway. So having noted that, I noticed a neighbor from the area. I know you missed the meeting. Did you want anything to say?
My only thoughts, my recommendation to council would be to let the developer do the due diligence. If you're gonna sell the property, that's the developer's job to do the due diligence, to find out geotechnical and do their surveys. As far as load bearing services, that's on them. That's not on town. I would strongly recommend that you have an understanding of what you want to see in that area, and that you have your zoning set up for when you do declare surplus. So if it's zoned, and as being I would appreciate it to be zoned low density at most. But if you have your zoning set up and you understand what you want to see in that area, that's gonna drive your development.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. All right, so we do have a motion on the table, on the floor. We have a mover. Ray, you're the mover, and McConnell, you're the seconder. Can you just read the motion? Oh. So the motion is that council defer the decision regarding the declaration of surplus lands, Princefield lands, until a future council meeting to review the feedback provided during the public meeting. That's about right. Okay. So is any further discussion on that? Councillor Kirkby?
Through you, Mayor Shankar, what's the length of defer? I know these Councillor Young and Councillor McConnell say there's no sense of urgency. There's always a sense of urgency in business. When people want to move, they want to move, right? When these companies, if there's potential out there, right? They want to see it. And the longer we delay, the longer we sit here and don't know what that option is.
Do you really think that a 2-week delay?
A 2-week is fine. If we're talking 6 months, I'm not good with 6 months. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm saying.
Yeah.
So would you like to amend the motion to put 2 weeks in there? Sorry, looking the wrong way.
What a time frame.
Would council wish to say at the next council meeting?
That would be
That'd be fine. That's 2 weeks, right?
2, yes.
Yep.
2 weeks.
Does that sound good?
Well, except we may want to have a group discussion about it before the vote.
Right. And I think that's fair.
And that's in 2 weeks, right? Or in the next meeting? Is that what you mean?
Could be, or we could certainly have a special meeting. I'm not proposing that, but we could get together as a committee and committee go home and discuss it.
Chloe?
Deferring the decision to the next meeting doesn't preclude council from a future deferral. If there's the desire at the next meeting for additional information or additional investigations to be had. To council's point, there was discussion as to whether or not all the feedback could be properly digested and provided back to council. So council always remains with the power at the next meeting to defer further or to direct staff at that time as well. You're not committed to making a decision that evening. It's just that the matter would re-rise.
I'm sure that Mr. Becker's article will prompt an awful lot of discussion in the community. People who have not paid enough attention to this might want to talk about it when we're out and about. I see no problem in discussing things like that with the public prior to the vote.
I know that we had this open for 45 days. It's supposed to be 30 days. We extended it and most of the emails we got were today.
Here today.
Right? So, and nothing up until today. Maybe Friday there was something came in, but.
I had a couple of people talk to me about it based on that, I guess, the interview that you gave at the Small Business Forum. Is that where it was?
I was in the.
And there were, people did question the 250 units. And unfortunately, the people this evening would probably have liked to hear it's not going to be a 5-story apartment building for 200 people. But we don't know what it's going to be. So it's difficult to satisfy their concerns. When they move forward, there will be another opportunity for them to discuss or listen to the final decision that we made if we sold it, who we sold it to and what they were going to do with it.
If I may, Mayor Shankar, and that's what I'm getting to, right? Like, getting it out to the public to the next stage, right? Declaring it surplus is stage one, right? And then being able to come back and say what the right, which would happen in council, and people would be able to see that and digest what we actually get offers on to put there potentially. Or we may not get any, right? We may not get any. That's the other side of the coin, folks. Right?
Are we required to hold another public meeting once a plan is adopted?
Council is not required to do anything under the legislation or current policy that I'm aware of. Council may choose to undertake whichever process they desire at that time.
Would it not go through another, like a PAC meeting or potentially some other meeting that would be open to the public?
For the proposals?
No, I guess not for the proposals, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Any other process that was being undertaken, if there was a severance or a rezoning, and I don't wish to speak at a turn, our municipal planner is here, but if there were any planning processes to be undertaken with the property after any subsequent sale, then yes, the proper process would be undertaken, whether that be through the committee of adjustment or whether through our process.
Perfect.
All right, I think we've had lots on this, so I'm just gonna call the question. All in favor?
Wait a minute.
On the deferral.
On the deferral to the
Yeah.
next meeting.
Right, okay.
Opposed?
Sorry, do we add in the motion 2 weeks?
It's-
The next council meeting, right?
Until the
Okay,
next.
yeah, okay. I'm fine with that.
So,
I have
sorry,
a problem with the timing. I would hope for a month, but that's not this.
too late now.
Well, we could.
You can, in 2 weeks, you can
Defer.
put a motion again. All in favor? Carried, thank you. All right, there are no notices of motions, no mayor's proclamations. Media questions, Don?
Thank you, Mayor, thank you, council, John Vickers Marshall from the South Granville. Thank you, Councillor Young, for your advocacy on my part, but the beacon is fair and impartial. I do have a question through the mayor to the CAO that maybe he could answer for us on the recent water main break in town. Does the town know what the cost is yet of what the repair was? No, we don't. Okay, would that be coming out of this year's budget or or reserves or put aside to next year? Be coming out of this year's budget. This year's budget, okay, great, thank you. Thank you, Mr. John. And one more question, Mr. Mayor, through you to maybe Chloe. When the water main break happened, there was really no messaging from the town on social media or anything immediately. Will that be rectified down the road when something like this happens again? Because people were trying to get through the town emergency line and nobody was answering, from what I understand. And the beacon was contacted by several town people wondering what the heck was going on.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Certainly, we are looking at undertaking an internal review to improve our processes going forward. We always look to ensure that we have correct messaging going out, and sometimes the first iteration of the messaging isn't always the most accurate because it's preliminary. And so in order to create the most accurate messaging, sometimes that takes time to craft and to ensure that we have the information both from the field and from a resolution standpoint. And so certainly we are looking into ways to improve going forward. And anyone was looking for information that didn't get it, we certainly apologize, but the messaging was provided as soon as we had messaging to release.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. All right. So we're going to move into closed session at 7 p.m. to discuss matters pertaining to approval of closed session minutes from October 20th and the Heritage Advisory Committee application / appointment. Under section 239(2)B, under the Municipal Act, personal matters about an identifiable individual, specifically applications to the Prescott Heritage Advisory Committee, and that the CAO, Treasurer, Director of Administration Clerk, and Deputy Clerk remain in the room. Can I have a mover and seconder for that, please? Councillor Young, Councillor Tracy Young, and Councillor Campbell, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Start that in about